Rayshaun Benny, a four-star defensive line prospect with experience on both lines of scrimmage, is set to make his college commitment in just moments. The Oak Park, Michigan high school standout will choose his college destination from a group of four finalists. At 6'5", 275 pounds, he can be an inside-outside combo player and is expected to be in the mix for playing time right away, no matter what school he chooses. And here are the current rankings according to 24/7 Sports for defensive tackles. Rayshaun Benny right there at number 15. And we welcome in 24/7 Sports Director of Scouting, Barton Simmons. Barton, just how good is Rayshaun?
He's one of the best defensive linemen in the country. Yeah, really one of the best just jumbo athletes in the country, because this is a guy that could play offensive line at the next level. He's played it at a high level. In fact, we've ranked him as an offensive tackle through some of this process. As his recruitment has developed and progressed, defensive line has been where he's pointed towards. But I think that versatility, that ability to play both sides, is pretty representative of just the talent that he brings to the table. Not many guys have that kind of upside to impact a game on both sides. And this is a guy that is, because of his frame, because of his athletic skill set, just a rare type of kid. Like, there's only so many big-bodied athletes that are out there. And this is a guy that can move. This is a guy that plays hard. He's one of the best players in the country, and certainly one of the best players in the state of Michigan as well.
All right, well, Rayshaun has narrowed his list down to 4 schools, including 2 in Michigan: Michigan State, Kentucky, and Penn State. Who do you feel has the inside track as we get set for his announcement?
Yeah, look, if you look at 24/7 Sports, the crystal ball is heavily in favor of Michigan State at this point heading into the decision. We'll see if it's right. Michigan had been a program that was kind of in a good position with Rayshaun there for a while. But as of late, Mel Tucker and Michigan State have really been charging. So right before he announces, I think that's where the expectation is for us right now.
All right. More from you a little later on. Barton Simmons, the Director of Sports Recruiting for 24/7. Thank you, sir.
Rayshaun Benny, 4-star defensive tackle, Oak Park High School out in Michigan, checks in as a top 200 player overall in the class of 2021 on 24/7 Sports. This dude is an absolute tank on the defensive line, makes an impact, can also dominate on the offensive line, but he wants to play defense at the next level.
Michigan and Michigan State are the finalists as the Wolverines and Spartans tussle for the coveted in-state recruit.
And whatever program lands the 4-star defensive tackle is going to get a guy who's going to make a big-time impact for the next 3 to 4 years.
And without further ado, we welcome in live from Oak Park, Michigan, Rayshaun. Hey, it's finally time for you to make your college choice. What has the recruiting process been like for you this year?
Man, it's been crazy, It's been ups and downs with the whole COVID, It threw everything off for real, but overall, I still enjoyed the experience.
Well, how would you describe the type of player that you are? We've seen footage of you. You look big, you look strong. How would you describe your style?
Dominant, definitely dominant. No matter where I go, what position, wherever I do, I'm just dominant at it.
Well, I know you missed some time with an injury this year. How has your high school football season played out?
The season ain't go as we planned it to, but, we got the guys back on track right now, so that's all we're trying to keep moving forward and improving every week still.
Well, we're watching video of you now. Some of the plays are you on the offensive line, some are on the defensive side of the ball. Which do you like playing better, offense or defense?
Defense, definitely.
Why is that?
I like hitting people for real. That's the whole thing. You can hit people on offense, but it's different on defense, I guess.
All right. Well, hey, I know you were a very highly regarded recruit. Many big-name coaches came to recruit you, including Jim Harbaugh. He's had some pretty fun recruitment stories as a coach. What was it like meeting him?
It was crazy for real, just like meeting somebody with that stature, how he been and the things he accomplished. So it was just an experience that I was glad I was able to get.
All right, well, we know you've narrowed it down to 4 schools. The stage is yours now, Rayshaun. Let's hear where you're going.
For the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be continuing my academic and scholarship at Michigan State University. Go Green.
Well, hey, I asked you about meeting Jim Harbaugh. How about Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker, his first season? What was that meeting like? What made him convince you to come there?
Really, the whole, I was able to tell the difference with the program from the old staff, and then that's what I look forward to. They always been real genuine with me, and then they was there for me when I needed them, when I had some hard times this year. So that was just the family-oriented part for me.
Now, they were big underdogs against Michigan, another team you were considering, and they beat them. How much did that game influence your decision?
That ain't do nothing for my decision, really. My mind was already made up by that point, so it was just, icing on the cake.
And how soon does Coach Tucker expect you to be playing? Did he say you might be able to get in there your freshman year?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely plan on seeing playing time as a freshman, make all Big Ten freshmen, something like that.
All right. Well, hey, the last question, obviously, when you go to college, you got to decide what your major is going to be. What are you going to study there at Michigan State?
Business management.
All right, maybe you can be your own agent, make millions of dollars, head to the NFL. The future is bright, my man. Rayshaun Benny, congratulations on your decision to go to Michigan State.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And now we welcome in, after we look at his player profile, there he is. We already got the dark green sash there at the bottom because he will be a Spartan, 6'5", 275 pounds, the number 15 ranked defensive tackle in the class of 2021. He also played offensive line. A lot of schools would have loved him in that position, but you heard him say he likes playing defense better, and the Spartans could sure use him next year. And we welcome in Zach Parr and Barton again. Gentlemen, there you have it. He is headed to Michigan State. We'll start with you, Barton. What are your thoughts on the big man becoming a Spartan?
Well, it's a huge get for Michigan State, particularly when you consider that, again, this was a guy that really had his sights set on Michigan at one point in the process. I think Mel Tucker, to have really taken the bull by the horns in this recruitment and advance this thing over the goal line, is huge. This is a player, again, when you're talking about defensive line body type, 6'5", 280 so pounds, physical, athletic, versatile. This is the type of guy that can really build out your roster. And it's important because Mel Tucker is going to recruit nationally at Michigan State. That's a big part of the appeal of him arriving there, but you still have to lock down the in-state talent. And this is a top 10 player in the state, and it's the first top 15 player in the state of Michigan that Michigan State has landed in this cycle. So I think that's critical to be able to secure your own borders, but you got to really tip your cap to the job that they did in landing them, because I do think this is the type of player that can really be an impact guy early in his career because of the body type and the athleticism that goes with it.
Yeah, and the thing I love most about Rayshaun Benny is the dude's a winner. I mean, he's missed the most of his senior season because of an injury. He's come back and he's led Oak Park to back-to-back playoff wins in the Division II bracket in Michigan. So that just shows you that he doesn't really care about stats and all of that. He cares about winning. He's going to put in the work. And as Barton mentioned, he's one of the best players in the country. I expect him to make a huge impact at Michigan State, and we could even see him dominate on the defensive line as a true freshman. This is a big get for Mel Tucker, and I think things might start to kind of turn around for Michigan State on the recruiting trail. I think this is just kind of the start to something special for the Spartans.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Zach. For Mel Tucker, is this the kind of recruit that you can hang your hat on and maybe draw in some other recruits that maybe weren't fully committed to you yet?
Yeah, I think this is just really the start. I mean, you look at what the Big Ten's doing, and kind of Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. We'll see how things are going with the Wolverines right now. Things aren't looking so good on the football field. So this is something Mel Tucker can kind of take advantage of when it comes to recruiting in state. Because you look at Michigan, man, this is one of the most underrated areas when it comes to producing high school football talent. And I think Mel Tucker is going to kind of use this to his advantage. And I think this is really the start to something special for the class of 2001, getting Rayshaun Benny. I mean, this dude's a stud on both sides of the rock.
Yeah, and I would keep an eye on Andrell Anthony, a wide receiver committed to Michigan, another in-state prospect, and I think that would be maybe the next player to turn to if Michigan State were to continue to lean into those in-state recruiting efforts, buoyed by the Rayshaun Benny commitment here. I think Andrell Anthony, another, again, top 15 commit in the state of Michigan. So if they could somehow pull that one away from Ann Arbor, I think that would be another big step towards gaining a lot of momentum locally and within the Midwest.
So Michigan State beat the Wolverines on the field, and they just beat them again off the field when it comes to recruiting Rayshaun Benny. Barton and Zach, thanks for your time. For all the latest college football news and analysis, be sure to download and subscribe to the Cover 3 podcast. Barton Simmons and Chip Patterson are recapping Notre Dame's big win over Clemson and looking ahead to Week 11 of the college football season. Cover 3 podcast, download and subscribe now.